Welcome to Michelle's Making. Hope you're ready for coffee, crafts, cookies, and cocktails. Let's get going.
Welcome back to those of you who are returning. I really do appreciate that. Today is National Healthcare Decision Day. So if you haven't already thought about a living will or a healthcare surrogate making decisions like that, now's the day to do it. It's also National Orchid Day, National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. My kids used to tell me they didn't know if I was going to work or if it was a day off because I went to work in my pajamas. And working as a nurse and wearing scrubs all day, it did feel sometimes like I was wearing my pajamas to work, but they were very comfy. It's also Eggs Benedict Day, Bean Counter Day, and Clean Out the Medicine Chest Day. So you got a lot of things to think about today. Let me give a shout out today to my little nephew, Clayton, who celebrated his birthday this week, and also to my beautiful sister-in-law, Mella, who is celebrating her birthday in a few days. So I hope you had a great birthday week and enjoy the day that's special to you. We're going to get going on some coffee. I found some Funfetti creamer in the grocery store recently, so that's the creamer of the day. We'll enjoy it, get a caffeine boost going, make it a great day, and get to crafting. Our first craft is a Goodwill find makeover. This pot came originally from Hobby Lobby, and the original price was $39.99, and even with a 50% off coupon, it would have still been $20. Goodwill had it for $6.99, and it was half price on the blue tags, so $3.50. Next, I took a tube of all-purpose caulking from Dollar Tree, cut off the ends, and squeezed it into the bowl. Added some cornstarch and stirred, and then a little water and a little more cornstarch till I got the consistency that I liked. You'll definitely want to use gloves when applying this plaster because it's a messy process. But I did get the consistency I liked and then began applying it to the lower portion of the pot. I applied it to the entire lower portion of the pot, everything that was below the metal band that went around the neck. I also dabbed some onto the flowers and on the leaves to add a little more dimension and make it look a little more like pottery versus metal. Once the pot had dried, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut and painted the entire lower portion of the pot. I really liked this color and was impressed with how it was looking. Lately, I seem to have gotten away from the colors that are in the brown family, but as I was painting this, I was really enjoying it. What do you think of this color? Let me know in the comments. Next, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color cashew and painted the entire top portion, the neck of the pot, and along the rim. This color took a second coat to give good coverage. Once this dried, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is the black, and colored the ring that went around the neck of the pot. Next, using Waverly chalk paint in the color moss, I painted the leaves. And I didn't mind that there were little pieces of the plaster poking through the paint. It added some depth and dimension to the leaves.
Using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ballet Slipper, I added the final touch of painting the roses. And there you have our Goodwill Find Makeover. Our next craft is a Topiary Duo. For this, I used 2 St. Patrick Day cauldrons that I picked up at Walmart. They were regularly $1.98 for 99 cents, so 50 cents a piece. I began by taking off the handles and using the lightweight spackling from Dollar Tree. I began to give a full coat on the sides to give it a pottery appearance. I gave a little extra in the area on each side where that indented ring was so that it would be an even appearance when it was completely done. Once both pots were completely covered and dried, I took them outside and sprayed them with this Krylon low odor clear finish. Once this dried, I used Rust-Oleum chalk paint in an aged glaze spray and sprayed both the pots. I used a rubber ball from Dollar General, some ivy garland from Walmart, a wooden dowel, some green floral foam from Dollar Tree, and Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern. I began by using my scissors to poke a hole into the ball about a couple of inches in, enough that I could put the wooden dowel into the ball and it was very secure. I then painted it with the Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern. I did do 2 of everything since I was making a pair. This is the greenery garland I picked up at Walmart for $3.97. I also picked up this bunch of greenery and some raffia type strips and some reed pieces. This bunch was $5, but there was a lot here and I'm confident I'll have plenty left over for more projects. I took a couple of the raffia strips and glued it at the top of the dowel, just below the bottom of the ball, and began by sticking in reed pieces and twisting it around the dowel and intermittently twisting the raffia as well. And I added several pieces of the reed as I was going along just to get it to kind of mingle, intertwine among itself. I used some dabs of hot glue along the way to keep things secured, and you can see I'm using my pink clips from Dollar Tree also to help prevent those burns. The amount of reed and raffia pieces that you put on is really up to your discretion. I was just wanting to cover the dowel so it looked a little more natural, like a tree trunk. Next, using the garland and dabs of hot glue, starting at the bottom, I wrapped the garland around the ball, alternating the direction I was going in until I got the fullness that I liked. Once I had the fullness I liked, I trimmed off the excess and secured the bottom with some hot glue. Don't forget, we're doing this twice because we're going to have a duo at the end. Using Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant and Fern and using a makeup sponge for the application, I dipped alternating in the colors and it kind of mixed together, but it was perfect for the effect I was going for. I colored both of the stems of the topiaries. Next, using a pack of the glass stones that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, Walmart, or any of the craft stores, I poured half of the bag in each of the cauldrons to give it a little bit of weight. Then I took the green floral foam that I picked up at Dollar Tree and cut off a piece of it, and also had to kind of taper the sides of it to get it to fit snugly in the pot. I used the pieces that I had cut off to wedge down into the pot so it would be tight, and I did this for both of the pots. Next, I applied hot glue into the center of the floral foam, so when I pushed the stem of the topiary down, it would be a little more secure. Next, I used some reindeer moss. You can get this at Dollar Tree, Walmart, the craft stores. Any of them will do, and it goes a long way. I applied a little hot glue around the floral foam at the base of the topiary and applied the moss on top of that. And there you have it, our Topiary Duo. And now it's time for our adult refreshment, a Pina Colada Martini. While your glass is chilling, you'll build this drink over crushed ice using pineapple rum cream, coconut rum, and pineapple juice. As always, the recipe is in the description box, but you'll add your liquors and the pineapple juice to the shaker. Give it a good shaking until it's well chilled, and pour it in to your chilled glass. And you know, the only thing left is to enjoy our Pina Colada Martini.
Well, folks, that's it for another week. Thank you for sticking around. I do appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Share with your family and friends and help this channel grow. Let's make it a great week. Take time to stop and smell the coffee. See you next Friday.